Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi and a big welcome. My name is Theriso and I don't know why I'm whispering, like it's just, I feel like I need to whisper and I'm pretty sure I don't need to whisper. It's just so weird having someone like be with you and like kind of live with you for a while. My mom is here helping me kind of just settle into motherhood like for the first month, and she is actually leaving next week, so this coming week well, this week when you guys see this video this week. So it's a bit like I'm a bit scared, but like it is what it is. I'm scared and excited, but whatever, this is not about that. As you guys can see by the title of the video, it is my birth story, which is like my labor and delivery story, whatever you want to call it. I'm very excited to film this video because my birth vlog did not go how I imagined it to go, like at all, because I did not know I was getting ready to like give birth that day. So my camera was not charged, and then we had to charge it, and I was just so scared and nervous because it was an emergency C-section. If you guys did not know, I'm gonna leave something like a tag on the screen so you guys can go watch my birth vlog. I still think it happened the way it was meant to happen, and I'm just making peace with that. But I want to start off with my birth plan because I didn't get the chance to sit down and film my birth plan because I gave birth like unexpectedly, and I thought I had imagined that I still had a week left and I was going to film a whole bunch of videos so that I don't miss any uploads the first month my baby is here, because I kind of did want to take a break when she was here. So just to explain all that, basically I gave birth unexpectedly, and that's why everything has just kind of been everywhere. But yeah, if you're new to my channel, Theriso, I'm 23 and this is my first child. I'm a first time mom, and I gave birth to a beautiful little girl. I don't know, it's so weird saying I gave birth because I had an emergency C-section, but a beautiful little girl. But anyway, my birth plan. So I originally wanted to do a vaginal, natural, unmedicated birth. I wanted to go and try unmedicated. I really have no problem with getting an epidural. I had the epidural on standby. It's exactly what I told my doctor. I was like, I want to do vaginal, and she just looked at me like I was crazy because a lot of people do not do vaginal here. They do C-section. So she just thought like, oh my gosh, you must be like the strongest girl ever. And like I was just like, okay. So we were gonna have an epidural on standby because I really wanted to try unmedicated, but like I definitely was gonna have the epidural if I could not do unmedicated. Like I was definitely like, give me that epidural when I want it. So I wasn't very rigid on that or anything like that. And we came up with a birth plan around 35 weeks. Around this time I was 35 weeks, and then around 37 weeks, end of 37 weeks, beginning of 38 weeks, I started having the most excruciating amount of pain in my vaginal area. So I was feeling like excruciating amounts of pain, and I literally could not walk. I would get stuck getting into the bed and scream and cry. It was just like horrible. Like the last couple of weeks was just very horrible. Like very, very horrible. But the important part of those 2 weeks, the last couple of weeks, like from 7 weeks till 9 weeks, I was having contractions pretty frequently. The first week I had contractions 10 to 15 minutes apart for a couple of hours a day, so maybe like 5 hours a day, 10 to 15 minutes apart. My stomach would get really hard and like soften up, and then get really hard and then soften up like it would when you're contracting. But I was not having any pain. Like I was not having any lower back pain or like where you would have period pains or anything like that. Like I was not having pain at all, so I kind of brushed it off. But something really told me that I was like contracting and I was like in labor. So I went ahead and mentioned it to my doctor, because the last couple of weeks I was seeing my doctor every week. Mentioned it to my doctor. She did a vaginal exam. I was not dilated at all. This was at 38 weeks. I was not dilated at all, and my she had not dropped at all. Like my baby had not dropped. So my doctor's just like, no, if there isn't pain and you know you're not dilated or anything like that, I'm just gonna like. She just kind of like dismissed it. And then the following week, my mom landed that week on my 38 weeks, on the Saturday, and the following week, I had a resit exam because I had failed an exam. I had a resit exam on Monday, and my doctor's appointment was on Tuesday. My mom had landed on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, I was having contractions. They were pretty close together. They were 5 minutes apart, and they would last the entire day, like 24 hours without like no break. But I still was not having that pain. I was not in excruciating amounts of pain. Like I had more pain with my false labor and Braxton Hicks than this contracting and whatnot. I was contracting and it was like 5 minutes apart on the Saturday and on the Sunday, on the Monday as well. I remember being on sitting my exam and I was like contracting, like my stomach would harden and soften up and harden and soften up, and it was getting closer and closer, but I was still not having that pain, that excruciating pain. My water hadn't broken, I was not having the blood show, I hadn't lost my mucus plug. So I still was like, okay, well, she checked me last week and I was having the same things. I mean, they're closer together now, but I still wasn't having enough pain or anything like that to be that concerned. My mom on that day though wanted to really go to the hospital, and I was just like, no, we have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so she'll check me then. And the next day we kind of packed the car up with my bag, hospital bag, the baby's hospital bag, car seat, camera, everything that I needed, but I was still like not like I'm giving birth today. Like I was just not in it. I was just doing it because, like, you know, my mom was really like adamant on it, and I was 39 weeks, and I just, if I should go into labor or I am really in labor, there really isn't anyone to kind of drive back and get my stuff. Like I'm the only driver. So like it was, I just needed to pack my bag, the car up and everything. So when we get to the doctor's appointment, I mentioned the contracting thing that I've been having, and she's just like, no, she was just like, no, no, if you're not having any pain, honey, and you can talk to me, you can walk and you can drive and you're not screaming, listen, you're not in labor. She did a vaginal check and I was not dilated at all, which is like so discouraging. At that point I could not walk without crying, and my mom was just like, this baby needs to get out, we need to induce this child like now, there's no way. And I was just in so much pain. And she sat me, like the doctor sat me down, and they took measurements and stuff like that. You burped. They did the vaginal check. I was not dilated. She also then mentioned that we need to figure out what we're going to do at 40 weeks, because it was my last checkup. Like next week, in a couple of days, like what are we going to do, induction, C-section, or what's going on. She advised me on a C-section because my pelvic area was too narrow to give birth. I would end up strangling the baby and suffocating the baby to death. So she was just like, that combined with the fact that with induction the labors tend to be long, and she's just really like really scared, not scared, but like she's just very concerned that the baby's heart rate will go down and we would end up having to do a C-section in general. So she was just like, because of those two factors, she would advise me to do a C-section and set a C-section date. We can have the last week just to see if I would go in labor, but she would do the whole C-section thing. So then we set a C-section date. This was on the Tuesday. We set up a C-section date for the 1st of February, which I believe was like a Saturday or Friday. And then she asked me about the baby's movements, which she did all the time. And she asked me how many times she moved a day, and I said like twice a day. Like at that point she wasn't moving that much. It would be like twice a day and for like 2 seconds, and I would have to really concentrate to feel those movements. And she got a little bit concerned because she was like, it has to decrease, but like it has to be like 5 times a day at this point. And she then sent me to the emergency ward to get an ETC scan. I think it's called an ETC scan. I should have did my research, but honestly, like, I don't have time. But an ETC scan to monitor the baby's heartbeat and oxygen levels, but it also monitors contractions. But she was just doing it for the heartbeat and the oxygen levels. While I was down there, I knew I was contracting, and I could feel it, I could see it. My mom could feel my stomach contracting. So pretty much I was really excited for the scan, because I was like, okay, it's either going to record that I'm contracting or not, and I'm going to actually know if I'm in labor or not. After that, with the results, she got sent the result, or I sent her the results just for her to analyze. And she literally sent me a text, and she was like, don't go anywhere. I was on my way out of the hospital at that point, and she's like, don't go anywhere, do not eat, do not drink, come back to my office. And I went to her office, and me and my mom sat down, and she was like, well, you're in labor, and you've been in labor for quite some time, and your contractions are a 6 out of 10, and basically you should be crying and be in pain and screaming, but we don't understand why you're not. She's like, are you not even feeling any pressure in your back? I'm like, no pressure at all, like I'm fine, like I'm absolutely fine. But I do think I am contracting. I do think like I am contracting. I'm definitely contracting. It was a 6 out of 10. And she was like, we're gonna have to do an emergency C-section right now, because you are you've been in labor for quite some time, for like over a week now, and your contractions are they're pretty strong, like a 6 out of 10. And with the other 2 factors of me possibly bleeding out because of me being in labor for that long, and also my pelvic area being so narrow, we had to do the C-section. We did not want to try the vaginal at all. So then I literally got rushed into the theater. I got hooked up on an IV within 5 minutes. The whole hospital, all the staff, like the nurses, the doctor, like everyone was like rushing in like a C-section, emergency C-section, and they were speaking Turkish, and they were just like trying to reassure me, but like they're not like really good with English. Like it was just like very nerve-wracking, and it was just like very intense, because we didn't expect it at all. We were on our way home actually. And my mom had 2 natural births and 1 C-section, but the C-section was definitely planned with her. So she was like very nervous and very scared with mine, because we just didn't know what to expect. And also the fact that everyone was running around and rushing and being very like nervous and scared and everything really scared us at the same time. So I was basically in labor for a week and a half, active labor for a week and a half. And it's just, I just don't know why I was not having any pain. I don't know if my threshold is high. My mom and the doctor did say that there is a medical term for it, and it is pretty rare. And I don't know if I had stayed like longer, like maybe gotten to an 8 out of 10 or like a 10 out of 10 on the contraction thing, that I would have felt pain. But at a 6 out of 10, I was not feeling pain, and I was in labor for a week and a half. And I honestly, my birth story really, like my labor and delivery really did not go the way I expected it to go. When I got into theater, my mom was not allowed inside, so we don't have any pictures or any clips or any videos, and it really like just breaks my heart, because even my younger sister, who's like 13 years old, has a video of her birth. Like it just breaks my heart, because my child won't have that. But it is what it is. Like there's nothing I could have done. They rushed me in there, they gave me an epidural, and she was out within like 2 minutes. Then there were like complications with my heart. The machine was like going off, and I I don't really remember what they were saying to me and what they said to me, but I do remember them trying to like get me not to pass out, and the two nurses or doctors that were like by me were like trying to like, you know, get me to wake up, trying to keep me awake by talking to me. But I just remember blacking out and the machines going off and them telling me that, listen, there's something wrong with your heart, but we're sorting it out and stuff like that. And this as well, the doctor was closing me up and taking out the placenta, I guess, and all that. They even brought my baby to me and they're like, kiss her, kiss her, kiss her, like just trying to keep me awake. And I was like choking on my own vomit. It was just like a lot. It was a lot. Just also not having my mom in there, just not having anyone in there. No one was allowed in there. I was just like, so they gave me my baby, I kissed her, and they handed my baby off to my mom immediately, and I was in the theater for another 30 to 40 minutes. And I remember getting out and I was like in tears when I saw my mom, because I was like, where's my baby? Like, I just want to hold my baby. And yeah, it was just like a very traumatic like hour. Like, it was just a very traumatic hour, 45 minutes. But she's here, she's healthy, and she's good. She has always been good. She has always been healthy. It's just my body has always just been a very fragile body. So I would say like it went good, I think. It went good. I'm just a little bit bummed with the fact that because I had a C-section. With a C-section, they advise only 3 births, and I really want a lot of kids. I've always wanted a lot of kids, so a VBAC is very dangerous. So that's my only thing. But besides that, yeah, I'm not wearing makeup. I haven't worn makeup ever. Oh my gosh, like she just wants to make her own little entrance here. Just want to make your own little entrance. You want to make your own little entrance. Yeah, but that's it for my birth story. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If my energy levels were low in this video, I'm exhausted. I'm doing this on my own. Well, not on my own. My mom is here helping me, and she helps me during the day. And I now have nights to myself. She helped me with nights as well, but I'm trying to get used to doing nights on my own because she is leaving in a week's time. So I've been doing nights on my own for like 2 days, and it's been going really good. And I'm trying to get into routine and all that stuff. And school starts next week, so it's just like, yeah, if my energy levels are low, I'm just really a routine person, and right now there is no routine, and I'm just trying to get into that. But thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for all the lovely comments on my birth vlog, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.